Even though currently there are a lot of IEMs that are using multiple driver type, but Acoustune is one of the brand that is using only single dynamic driver from its lower end to higher end model. So hello and welcome to Aftersound Review, and this is my review for Acoustune Rs1, which is actually their current cheapest lineup for their IEMs. Just like usual, I will break down this review from the build, fit, frequency response, sound, and comparison. And if you're in Japan, you can buy this Acoustune Rs1 for around 12,000 yuan. And first of all, thank you for my friend Ahmad Ghazi for lending me his collection to be reviewed. Now, the housing is fairly small, but somehow feels quite robust even though it's only using plastic. But somehow the plastic feels really good. I feel that this is a high quality plastic. It is written it's using polycarbonate, which is a type of plastic. But I have to warn you though, the nozzle is a little bit on the big side, and its connector, it is detachable IM, and the connector is quite unique. As you could see, this is like a thicker version of the regular MMCX. It is called Pentacon in ear. And personally for me, it's like a buffed MMCX. I personally like this better. It feels like a more durable version of MMCX. And the cable itself, it is really flexible and non-microphonics at all. Fit-wise, I really have no problem with them. I mean, the fit is quite regular fit, and in fact, they are really comfortable in my ears. They just fit like this, and I find no sharp edges, and quite stable when I'm walking or even running. I personally really like how they feel in my hand and how they fit in my ears really well. But the problem is their tuning. Now let's take a look at this frequency response here, which shows that this IM simply falls into the V-shape category. The main emphasis of the frequency is mostly on the bass area and also the upper mid-range to lower treble area, but after that the treble is mostly rolled off. I believe the bass is the main part of this IM sound because that's literally the first thing I notice when I hear them. It is a really big slamming bass, but in a good quality. So if you're a bass head, this might be for you because the bass is really slamming hard with a lot of energy both in the mid bass and sub bass area. It goes quite deep with a lot of energy. No matter what kind of song you play, you will find that this bass is really satisfying and with a really good enough of punch and kick. But after that, personally, I find that the mid-range and treble area is simply lacking. It's very uneven and not really refined. The mid-range is simply recessed if you hear especially male vocals like Michael Bublé or Josh Groban. For me, they just doesn't sound intimate enough, and also they lacking warmth and fullness to their sound. It just feels recessed and also lacking in energy. It definitely will not be recommended for you who likes vocal. And after that, actually there is a very noticeable lower treble peak around 5K that you could literally hear from a lot of songs, especially when you hear S pronunciation and also cymbal crash. And the problem about this treble is mostly, the peak is mostly on the lower treble area rather than the mid or high treble area. So you hear a lot of spiciness coming from the cymbal or also S pronunciation, but the treble itself doesn't really go high. So when you hear flutes and when you hear violin, it will sound kind of metallic, but doesn't really sound extended and open. So yeah, personally, I like the bass. I like the bass really, but the mid-range and treble is simply lacking, especially at this price point. I feel that they are not refined enough as it appears. I would consider the technical level of this Acoustune Rs1 to be average. At its price point, it's good. Again, it's not bad or really good. I think at this price point, it doesn't touch the Dioko level of resolution, but it's a little bit more resolving than my Juno Titan S. That being said, I find that the main problem of this IM is mainly about its tuning, because the bass is on the extreme side. It's really punchy, it's really big, and also that 5K peak that I found in this IM is also on the extreme side. You saw the most of the song I hear through this IM, even though the clarity is quite good, the resolution is quite good. For me, the main focus I hear from this IM is mostly on the bass area and also that peaky lower treble. So, simply said, even though it's quite good on the resolution level, but it's getting bottlenecked by its tuning. In comparison with this Juno Titan S, for me the Juno Titan S is a much better tuned IM, especially when we talk about balance. The bass, mid-range and treble proportion is more balanced and more neutral with this Juno Titan S. But that being said, for me it simply doesn't sound as fun, as dynamic as the Acoustune Rs1. But the thing is, like I said before, because even though I feel that this Acoustune Rs1 has potential to be a good IM, but it gets its bottleneck from the tuning because of that bassy, really bassy mid bass that sometimes gets bloomy, and it gives a layer of fog around the song, so the song doesn't really come as clear, and also that peaky lower treble that gives me headache for a lot of music, especially when I hear cymbals and also S pronunciation. So even though the Juno Titan S isn't as fun to hear, isn't as dynamic as the Acoustune Rs1, if I have to choose one, I definitely still pick this Juno Titan S due to simply more balanced tuning overall. The bass is more well controlled, mid-range is more transparent and also balanced, and the treble, even though it's not as energetic as this Rs1, but I could hear more extension and more refined in the treble area. So yeah, personally, I would only recommend this for those who are bass head. But other than that, I find that this IM is not for a lot of people. Okay, I hope that's all. I hope you could understand my review and enjoy it. If you have any question, please write down in the below comments, and see you next time. Bye bye.